Time for another tool review. Next.
I'm Rick, and this
Shut the heck up, you stinking boosters. Prepare that for your sanity.
This is the shack.
Hey everybody, welcome. Hey, if you're new to the channel or first time stopping by, thank you so much for taking some of your time out to view. Always ask that you would consider subscribing. If you do, ring the ding 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 that bell down there so you are notified when the videos do come out. Give it a thumbs up, like and a share. It definitely helps the channel. Today we're going to do a quick tool review on my newly acquired woodpecker tool. Just got back from the post office. It arrived Saturday. I picked it up today. My hands all sanitized and ready to open this up and check it out. Oh yeah. So this is what we're after. Put that aside. Maestro, drum roll please. And there we have it. This is the Woodpeckers MT center gauge and dowel jig. I have just the dowel jig. I have no use for the center gauge application. This is what I wanted. One thing I love about woodpecker tools are that they are solid metal, no plastic. Really nice, wonderful finish. Now it comes with the 3/8 inch dowel guides on it. It also has the addition of 1/4 inch dowel guides. It also comes with the 3/8 indexing pen and a 1/4 inch indexing pen. Now this is based on geometry, basic geometry I guess. This is a parallelogram. No matter how this goes, it will self-center itself on any thickness stock up to, I believe it's 2 inches is the widest you can fit in here. On the back here, this is your end stop. You see all the indicating marks here? This is the measurements. If you're going with the woodpecker logo, this is the top. So the top here is your standard measurements. On the bottom is metric measurements. Also on the bar itself in here, if you can see it, there are lines on that bar just below these guide pins. That's the center marks, each one of these dowel pin guides. The top measurements, the furthest one in is 3/8 of an inch. So if I was to set this all the way into 3/8 of an inch, I have to see what I'm doing here. I'll set that at right at 3/8 of an inch. That's the closest setting. Now that 3/8 of an inch means that when the stock slides in here, it hits that first dowel pin guide from the edge of the stock to the dead center of that is 3/8 of an inch. You can use this to set the distance from the top of the stock down however far you want your dowel holes to be drilled. The furthest out is, I think, 2 7/8. So from the dead center of the very first dowel hole to the end of the stop, that is 2 7/8 of an inch. The paperwork that comes with it is just an owner's manual. It briefly goes over the use of the tool, nothing very specific. Gives you a general idea how you can use this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some pieces of wood, just some leftover stock around here, and I'm going to show you how quickly and easily you can use this to make picture frames, shadow boxes. You can even use this to some measure for basic cabinetry face frames. Now let's say you're making basic picture frame, or you're just making a frame for something. This is just some leftover stock I have. I cut it at 45. I'm going to show you how you can use this to make a simple picture frame. What I normally use is 3/8 dowels, either spiral dowels. Basically, spiral is for solid woods, hardwoods. Fluted is for your softer woods, particle board, MDF, things of that nature that would split or would crack easier. The depth you want to drill your hole, these are 2-inch long dowels, so each side will get 1 inch. So I'm going to drill my hole 1.1 inches. It allows a little pocket here for the glue. The glue should squeeze up out through the spiral, making a nice solid joint. first thing I will do, I will set my drill bit to the depth desired. And I've already gone through this and done it, but I'm going to show you. I will insert it into here. I will measure the distance from here to the tip, and I want it at 1 1/8 inches. I've already got that set. Put my tape on, so this is the depth my drill bit needs to go into my jig. I will say one thing. I haven't done it yet, but I may end up doing it since I will be using more and more dowel joinery. The Dowelmax, I think it's called. I may end up very shortly going to the Dowelmax and buying a drill that has the stop collar on it. They have those there. So if you're going to do something like this, I highly recommend getting something like that from them. With the depth set on my drill bit, I can now insert it into my drill. And I can set that aside for now. Easiest thing, just check your material. Now if I was putting this into something, I would probably have to use 1/4 inch dowel on this because it's a very small stock. You'd be hard pressed to get 2 into something like this, so maybe 2 1/4 inch dowels would look great on 1.5 inches. Since I am using this to go together, take your dowel, you go 1/2 inch, you don't want that there. You want to bring it down to about here. I would suggest give it a little extra room because you want to go 1 1/8 inches, so you want to go out a little bit further. I will probably have my first hole about right there. And you know, down at the bottom you got plenty of room because you got all this area here. So I'm just going to see with that mark there, I can still get 3 holes into this. So what I want to do, I'm going to probably look in this way. So if you're looking from my view, you're looking that, you kind of line those up, which would be about right there. Then I'm going to slide my stop down to where it hits. Again, this doesn't have to be precise, it's just to hold it together. It's not a big deal. Squeeze it on, slide it till it stops, clamp this. I can drill these 3 holes and I'll be good. Now one thing I do just for my reference, so I don't forget, I put X's on the top where I'm going to reference from and the front, so I know this is the front, this is the top. So I'm going to take my stop, I'm going to put the X against my stop, clamp this, see I have that clamp, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my drill, and because this is just demonstration purposes, I'm only going to drill these 2 holes, I'm not going to worry about the third. If I was building the frame, I would do all 3 holes. So hopefully you can see this. I'm going to set that on, I'm going to drill this hole. So I'll do about half and go back finish it. Drill the top one, or in this case this is the bottom one. There's those 2. So remember, that's my X, that's my X. So I want to reference off this one, goes against the stop, so I put that in there, slide against the stop, clamp it. And my tool's dirty. Now, let's see the results. Put that in there. Put that in there. And I always have my little mallet. I'm just going to make sure it's all emptied out. Put that in there, into that. And clamp them together. And there you have a very smooth joint. Perfect there, smooth and level. I can make picture frames all day with this. Well, you saw how we can use this on a 45 cut. What about just a simple square frame? That's very easy. I think 2 would be sufficient. 3 would be pushing it to the edges. I don't want that. So I'm just going to center these 2. I'm going to center these on here where I think I like it. Again, this is just for demonstration. Even if I was making the production run of these, I don't have to have this perfect. It's just to hold the joint together. Once the glue dries, it ain't going nowhere. Release my stop block. I get this about right there. That looks good there. Slide this down until it hits. Tighten it up. So now, as you see, that's where the two dowels are going to go in this material. So when I slide it in here, clamp this down, slide it against the backstop, you can see the two holes are pretty well centered in my material. I'm going to mark the top so I know which end I'm going to reference off of. So when I go to this side, I do the same. Put this in, as long as they hit that backstop, clamp it, drill them. This side and then this side. Go in, hit it, clamp it. So this is, I'm going to put them this way. I'm putting my X on the top of each corner so I know that's where the edge I'm referencing from. And let's drill these up. Okay, quick little side note again. I went to slide the second piece in here and this wasn't tight, as you see it moved. So to rectify that, I'm going to put in my indexing pin right there. Now I can slide this back down to the end, tighten it up. Hopefully I got it tight this time. And we're good to go. Now I can finish. Alright, moment of truth. So I'm going to put my X's, my X's. There's my X at, there's my X there. Put these two in, these two in. I indexed off the wrong side on that one. I screwed up. But as you can see, this side is perfect smooth. This side, I accidentally went off the bottom. I screwed up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, well, nothing's perfect, right? But that gives you an idea. As long as you make sure you got the right edge. That's why I put the X on and I still messed up. Somehow I went off of this one. Now the last thing I want to show you is you can still use this for some basic cabinetry face frames. Let's say you're doing a portable station for a tool. You basically just wanted a section for the drawer, a section for a door. I could do a couple of things. If you had the edge rules from Woodpecker, you could put your mark where you want it, say right there. The edge rule has a stop you can put on here. I would set the stop to match whatever that mark is right there. Put my mark here. That way I could put this and make my mark equal on all pieces. Or in the demonstration purposes, since this is long enough to go all the way across, I'm just going to put a mark here, and that's where my first hole will go. And I'm still putting the X here, X here, X here. So that's the edge I'm referencing on going down. Now that I have that set, all I have to do is line up this mark with the mark on the side right there. Line that up, slide the stop down. So my stop is set for this mark on here. Make sure that's nice tight. Let me drill these two holes first. Remember, always drill your first hole, reference off the end stop. So I'm going to drill these two holes. this X. Wasn't that one? I just made a mistake. I just noticed something. I had the wrong end because I tried this before earlier on another piece. There. Now it's correct. I did this earlier on another demonstration. Actually had that X, wrong one. It's this X. Now it's level and lines up. So what happens when you have to do these videos over multiple times because it doesn't come out right. So that is correct. So now I just screwed up myself on this. I'm going to leave that in there like that. I'm going to put this in here lined up with my mark. And I'll make another mark on this side. So I will line that up with this. I will make another line. That's good right there. So I'll make a like here. That's my X. This is my X. There. Now we should have everything lined up properly. So with these two holes drilled, I need to drill the hole into my side stock. I need to remove this. I'm going to have to take this off too. I need this out of my way. There we go. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to slide that on there around this side so you can see. You see the line right there? Line's right there, and I got to line it up with the line right there. So I'm going to line that up where it's nice and straight right there. Basically I'm going to hold this down, clamp that, open it up just a little bit. I'll see if it needs to move at all. It looks good right there. Leave that there, and I'll clamp it. Now with everything drilled, let's see if it all goes together. Make sure I got the right X's again. I can't believe I did that. Okay, that's good. So this goes there, those two there. I'm going to add this one. That's good. This is good, so I need to add 2 on this. That's good. Now my X's, where's my X's at? X, there it is. Those. So these two should go here. Get these pounded in. Looks nice. That looks nice. Put these in. And there you have a basic frame. Looking good. Now only other thing I could show you, but I'm not because I don't need it, but I'm just going to quickly go over what you would do. If you have maybe a 1x8 or 1x6 you need to glue onto something like this, and you want more than just 3 dowel holes, very simple. Set your stop. Say you want it right there, you set your stop, clamp it, drill your 3 holes in all the stock all the way around, depending on the project. Do the 3 holes. Now once that's done, you're going to have to remove the stop. You can go back, put your indexing pin in there. So you drilled these 3 holes, you slide it down till this one was in your last hole, put the pin in, it'd go through there into your stock, that would index that hole. You drill these 2, slide it down again, and slide that back in to do more, depending on how many dowel holes you're going to need in that piece of material. That's what the indexing dowels are for. Same thing with the 1/4" dowel guides. You can do face frames, basic face frames for cabinetry, drawer, and a door. But you see the results I got. Perfect. After I rectified myself for making a screw up on this one. You saw the results for the 45. Bring those up there, see? Now this material is, are two different pieces of material. They're not, one's bowed a little bit, so I'm not going to get flush, but it gets results. If I wanted the rough cut side, I'd run this side through the planer to get them all the same thickness, and then this would be perfect. But this is just two pieces I grabbed out of the scrap, so they may not be exactly the same, but you get the result. You see how clean that joint is, and it's solid. I mean, I can't even get this thing to come open. Don't be afraid of dowel joinery. Don't be afraid of biscuit joinery. Check up something out here about my biscuit joinery. And compared to a mortise and tenon joint, unless you want to take the time to use a router, if you have a router table, I have a basic one, so I can't get that technical with it. With your table saw, it's a little more involved, where this is drill, go, done. Or the biscuit, plunge, done. And they're very simple joinery methods with fantastic results and are very, very strong. So thank you so much for watching. Be blessed. Take back your hand. Build it for your sanity. We will see you in the next video. Gotta go wash my hands. Time for another tool review. Yikes! Next. Time for another tool review. Next.